Hey, y'all. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you all are having an amazing day and that turning into our conversation today just makes it that much better. Y'all know I'm always trying to shine a light on the beautiful hearts and minds of people and the journeys and experience that connect us all. These internet streets will have you out here thinking that companionship, love, and lifetime commitments don't exist anymore. But today's guest is here to share otherwise. Today, we are joined by Newlywed Nyla Lawrence. I got to get used to that.
I know, me
Nyla.
too. I was like waiting for you to say more too.
Let me tell you, I've been working on it because even in saying Lawrence in my head, I'm saying more.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us and being here to talk about this topic, your journey,
Mhm.
and just share a little bit of yourself with people. Again, the goal every day is to just connect people through shared experiences. People be out here feeling like they're by themselves in what they're experiencing, and so I think that I think and hope that today's conversation is going to just inspire some folks and reignite some hope and encouragement in people's heart and make them feel connected and that their experience is not something that they are alone in. So one of the reasons that I don't know if you know or not, but I'd paused in podcasting for about a year. Hush, y'all. Don't
Yeah.
say nothing. Keep it quiet. Keep it cute. I
I
keep
get
telling
it.
y'all I'm gonna come back to this and talk about it. But part of the reason for that is because the environment is so oversaturated. Um, Anybody can get on a mic, and it was really important to me that if I'm gonna be in this space, that I'm gonna always be talking about something um, that brings value to the lives of people, that has substance. And this conversation in particular is really important to me because I really, and this is going to sound dramatic, but I really believe that there is an overall effort to convince Black people in particular that this doesn't exist for us. And so I would love to just kind of start at a point, um, maybe prior to you meeting your now husband, and just talk about where you were at. And maybe were you preparing yourself? Were you not even thinking about like a person? Was it all about you? What space were you in prior to meeting your now person?
Yes. So prior to meeting Rich, I had just broke off an engagement
Mm,
and a very long-term relationship. And I was okay with being single. I was starting
mhm,
over.
mhm.
And I was okay with it just being me and my girls and, living life, friends, family, just doing me. Like I wasn't like, oh, I need to find my
Yeah,
person or I need to find a husband or even nothing. Like
yeah,
I was open to dating, but I wasn't looking for anything serious because I had just been in something for a while.
yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to therapy.
Come on.
I was
Mhm.
taking care of the kids, working, just, going out with friends, really just living life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing
So,
you.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the therapy piece is something that I push for our community just in general. I think that we experience life uniquely, and I think that we I don't want it to sound judgy because I also totally get like the historical reason and maybe familial reasons why people don't within our community, but I like to talk about just the importance of it. What do you think, or how do you think that therapy um, has benefited you?
So I started going to therapy during the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
because I was having a hard time at work. We were all at home with our
Yeah.
families. Like any issues that you were having before that, like all came to a head. And I was like,
Magnified on 10.
yes. And I was like, don't know what's going on, but like
Yeah.
I need to talk to
Hmm.
somebody. And
Hmm.
so I started going to virtual therapy. I actually have never met my therapist in person. Like
Wow.
we've always done virtual therapy.
Yeah.
I would like to sit on the couch one day, but
Yes, yes,
I don't
yes.
have that experience. Um, but yeah, I started going to talk about I can't remember the three things, but I know for sure it was like, or maybe I can. It was motherhood, work, and my relationship.
Mm, hmm.
Those were like our top three goals when I first started. And it was really important to me to learn to self-regulate,
Hmm.
to put forward a positive, example of motherhood, to not be so frustrated in
Yes.
motherhood or with my partnership, to try to determine what I was doing with my professional work. And I just needed someone, neutral to talk
Yeah.
to about all those things. And so we started going, I think I was going twice a month at the time. And then since then we've gone to like once a month, once a quarter, no, not once a quarter, once a month, once every other month. And now she like dropped me. I was like, did you try to get rid of me? But she's like, you're
You're
good. Like
good.
you're good, So she
Yeah.
she told me, she's like, come to me when you need me,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I don't currently have like scheduled therapy
Yeah.
appointments right now. I like to tell people I graduated from therapy. I think I think I'm
Come
a little
on.
better. I think I'm better than people. No, I don't.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot, and
Yeah.
she shared with me that like she saw the difference in who I was
Yeah.
when I first came to,
Mm,
our last appointment. And she was like, you got my number, if you ever need to get on the schedule, you definitely can. But she was like, I want you to go and enjoy your new marriage and come to me when you need
mm.
me. And I
Yes.
was like, I'll be back because marriage is
I'll be
new.
back. I love that. I call it a tune-up. Like when you come
Yes.
back, like that's what I do. My therapist is similar. The last time he was like, Janelle, he saw me a few times and on my return. So I went in for a tune-up. Sorry, let me
Mhm.
get it. I went in for a tune-up and then scheduled a few appointments after. And then like on maybe the third or fourth one and me coming back, um, he was like, what are you here for?
Why are you here?
Like, what are you here for? I mean, I'm happy to conversate with you. We have great
Yeah.
conversation, but like, you got lots of friends. Like, what are you here? I was like, I just want to make sure that I'm good and that I'm not like out here acting like I'm good, thinking I'm good, but
Mhm.
actually, girl, you
Yep.
know? So, that's wonderful. And I love that. And it's about the tool belt, right? People ask me these odd questions. It's almost like when you're a single woman of a certain age, it's like the younger woman that doesn't have kids yet, that when everyone runs into them, they're like, do you have kids? Do you have kids? Are you
That's
pregnant?
what,
You want kids? You know,
mhm.
that, right? So everyone's like, you dating? Got a man? You in it?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah. Nice,
I'm
nice to see
good. Thanks. Right? Um, but 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 I don't shy away from the fact that I desire that for myself, right?
you.
I'm not out here looking for, right?
Yeah.
But I'm open and I desire that for myself. In preparation or just in getting reconnected with yourself, during that time, what were some of the things that you were like, I'm open when you got to a place where you're like, I'm open to dating, I'm open to meeting people. Here's what's important to me in that process.
I think I learned about myself that I really like conversation.
Mm, mm,
And so
mm.
one thing that was really important to me
Yes,
was to get to know people, to get to know,
yes,
well, now my husband, to get to know him.
mhm,
I loved I'm one of those people that like, I don't do small talk. Like I'm going straight deep. Like,
yep,
okay, tell me about why, this is happening.
yes,
And so I know that I needed someone that I could have those conversations with. Like I am I'm comfortable with you when I am just like gabbing about anything. And so
yes,
it was important to like be with someone that I could have deep conversations with, that we could bounce, different ideas off
Yes.
of one another, that I could share all of who I was and them not be
Mhm.
like, ooh, that's too much.
Yes.
That I'm very sensitive. I cry all the time over random things. And so like, someone that wasn't afraid of my tears or be like, girl, you're tripping.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so that was what was really important to me. And as I got to know him better, I realized that I was really safe to be that person and to do those
Mm.
things.
Mhm.
And so that, yeah, that's kind of what led me to know he was the one.
I love it. I love it. Remind me, are you Pisces or are you Aries?
Aries.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I knew I knew it was one or the other.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that emotional nature, right? It's
Hmm.
I too, like I am I am I'll call myself a crybaby, and I am in the best ways though, like in the okay, blessing and curse, right? Because it's
Yes,
like
for
I'm not
sure.
afraid to be emotional, and also anything can make me emotional. Like I sometimes when I hug people, it makes me emotional. Sometimes when
Hmm.
I see people like, oh, I'm so happy for them, I'm
Yep.
emotional. If you like upset me and I'm just like, mm-hmm, emotional, like in
Yep.
like all
Yep.
of the things. And so I understand the feeling that is required of safety to be that, right?
Mhm.
That word safety, a lot of people minimize it, and I hate it because it's minimized to like um are they faithful or not faithful? And I'm like, "Oh, child, that's the
It's totally different.
right, like
Yeah.
and that's the I mean, and it could be a piece of it, but it is a small piece of it. What for
Mhm.
you says safety in a person in Rich in this person?
For me, I would say, again, being able to be completely myself.
Mhm.
I had not had any, instances outside of family
Yeah.
where or in friendships. I'll say I haven't had any romantic
Yes.
situations
Yes. Yes.
where I wasn't holding back parts of
Mm.
myself. Like
Mm.
I may share and I'll see how it's, received, and then
Yeah.
I'll decide if I should share more or not share more. I think with him, we went really deep, really fast.
Mhm.
Um, and and he always was kind of even keeled about it, like
Mm.
very supportive, wasn't, shocked or put off by anything.
Yeah.
Always, like it's okay, like willing to give a hug, willing to
Yeah.
talk through, like all those things. And so that
Patience.
let me know, yeah, like he's very, very patient, very, very kind. And that let me know that like he was a person in this world that I could bring all of that to and know
Yeah.
that like I'll be okay.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mhm. I think that safety factor is overlooked a lot. I think sometimes when people like trying to make something work because there's something about a person that they really, really like,
Mhm.
right? Um, but I am with you in that isn't conversation handsome?
Yes.
Like, let me
People minimize that.
mm,
They minimize that. And if you're going to be with someone long term, that's a person that you're going to be talking to for years every day. Like you need
yes.
to be able to do that because I realized in our dating and everything how important people always say like communication is so important. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, like yeah, I guess. But like I really realized like being able to talk to your partner, being able to talk about things that may be uncomfortable or tough for you, all of
Yeah.
those things are really helpful. And I feel like we do that really, really well. Like anytime that we've, been angry or whatever, we can easily talk through it and bounce back. Like we've never
Mhm.
gone a full day being like, I'm mad at you and I'll
Yeah.
talk to you tomorrow or, something like that.
Not I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh my heaven.
Yeah. You know how people like to
I
ice out. They
do.
like to be like, I'm not talking to you, I'll talk to you, like I'm going to another room or I'll talk to you, whatever. hanging up on you, stuff like that. Like we don't do that.
Oh, listen, in my younger days, I absolutely weaponized silence.
Yes.
1000%. I'm like, oh, I just don't have anything to say. And I would like
Hmm.
back it up by being like, if you don't have anything that's good to say, don't say anything, right? Like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, but I used it as a younger person. I absolutely used it as a weapon, and I think that's just so dangerous. And I
Hmm.
think there's like, obviously, I'm not married yet, but I think that there are agreements that are important to come to, and
Hmm.
understandings about how you resolve things, right? How are we agreeing to resolve things in order to keep this a safe space? And that doesn't mean perfection. We're human, right? But it goes back to that safety and trust, right? That even if someone gets a little outside of themselves, I have the grace and the trust, you know, to know that
Hmm.
I'm still safe here. But no, the ability to conversate and articulate and have the language for thoughts and feelings, like, super important, um in my opinion. um and I think about, um I always think about, and I don't know why this is just like a picture in my mind, like, um on the porch in the rocking chair.
Hmm.
The goals, right? Do I
Yep.
like this person? Like, you can love people, but I also want to like this person for a long time,
Absolutely.
right? And that to
Absolutely.
me lays somewhere in the conversations that we're able to have. There's something so powerful in that line of communication, um, that
Yeah.
also is connected to safety, you know?
And I want to mention, you said, sitting in rocking chairs. I've had this conversation with Rich before of like, the reason I chose him is because I could see the future with him. Like a
Yes.
lot of times we choose our partners based off of like right now, like how we feel right
Hmm.
now. Like, I'm really into this person. Maybe we have really good you know, connection. We have fun together.
Yeah.
They're handsome. All these things that are really fleeting. And we
Yes.
don't think like, if I get sick, is this person going to take care of me? If I lose my
Yes.
job, will this person, help provide?
Yes.
If whatever, like if this bad thing or if this good thing happen, will this person be in support of that? If I get,
Yeah.
a promotion and I'm making two times as much as I'm making right now, are they going to be jealous of me? Or are they going to be supportive of me? Like
Yeah.
we get so stuck into like, he's cute, we have fun,
Hmm.
he pays to get my nails done or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yes.
people are talking about now. Like all these really like just things that are fleeting. Because
Superficial, like,
superficial, like you're
yeah.
not thinking further out. And
Yeah.
it's like I know it's hard because like we don't know what the future holds, but like if you can think of a few things in the future, do you see that person there with you if those things are happening?
Yeah.
And if not, you either got to know like this is just something that I'm doing for this time, or that like this might be my person and I need to pursue that.
Yeah. I always think about, like, when I have these conversations, I'm like, can you build? Is this
Mhm.
person someone you can build with, right? Is
Yep.
this someone that is excited about you in a way that uplifts you and is going to be your biggest hype person, instead of feeling insecure about your wins? Are they going to celebrate you? Are they going to, uh, uh you know, are they going to be in it with you, or are they going to stand back and watch, like, reluctantly?
Yep.
Those things are important. And yeah, I am a person that also loves a beautiful smile, beautiful teeth, beautiful eyes, no creases in shoes. I mean, I am aware, like, there are some things, right? Like,
Yes.
I like some things, but also, right, there's the
Mhm.
substance. There's
Yeah.
that part that matters. And I've been telling people, you need to probably ditch your type. Um,
Oh my gosh. That.
I
So
had to ditch my type.
you do. And I will say that because we always laugh and people too were like, what? Because my husband is light skinned.
Hmm.
I probably dated maybe one or two light skinned people my whole life, and people that I don't even like, I'm not even super connected to, were like, I didn't know you like light skin. I was like, how do you even know? Like, where did you even get that from? But like, and he's bald headed. Like, I've
uh,
never dated a man who was bald, you know? So, like, being so stuck on looks
yeah.
and your type will
Hmm.
have you pushing your partner away because
Yeah.
they're not in the package that you wanted them to be in.
Hmm.
I also you asked earlier about like how did I prepare? I had a list in my phone of things that I wanted my partner to or how I wanted my partner to be. Um,
Hmm.
I focused on none of it was physical. I didn't
Mm.
know what this person would look like. I even
Hmm.
said this in my vows at our wedding,
Mm.
like I didn't know what you would look like, but
Yeah.
I knew the type of person that I wanted my husband to be. And
Yes.
so I wrote those things out. Um, things like when I come home, I want to be well received,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
Um, like things that you wouldn't think to put on a list, but like those were things that I felt like I needed in my partner. And so
Yeah.
I wrote those down. And I know women, we always got a list. But the list is like he need to be 6'5", making 100K a year. He gotta drive this. Like, what is any of that gonna do, relationship wise, connection wise?
Hmm.
What is
Hmm.
his car gonna do for you?
Yeah.
So being really thoughtful about that.
Yeah. You had said some words earlier, and we had talked about patience, and you said kindness, um,
Mhm.
and generosity is another word that sticks out for me, and just like some of the things that in thinking about a partner, selflessness,
Mhm.
consideration. I think consideration is an
Oh my goodness.
underrated, need that
Yes.
women think about to specify in that way. Is this person considering me
Hmm.
at all times? Like, and that's again connected to the trust, connected to the
Yep.
safety, but is this person considering me? And I I think some of that is attributed to, or at least a piece of it. And I'll speak to my own experience. There's a point in time. There's a relationship that I was in my younger 30s that I was like, I didn't understand the normal ups and downs of a relationship because I hadn't seen it, right? So when I'm trying to learn, like what is normal for a couple to work through, right, in just a relationship, not, I mean, not obviously not a marriage, but like just in relationship, I didn't understand fully because I hadn't seen it, the normal ups and downs of a relationship that would tell me this is something that you can work through in a healthy way, but this is an absolute red flag.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
Right? Exit stage left, girl.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it. And so I was trying to work through it real time with the limited knowledge that I have, which is another reason why these conversations are so important to me because I think
Mhm.
this transparency, like we live so much in these houses that like, what happens in this house stays in this house, that
Mhm.
it's people don't always get to experience um what healthy marriages and relationships look like because people keep the door closed to others.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Mhm.
I think one thing, and hopefully I remember my other thought, but I wanted to say about keeping the door closed. I was just saying, I just saw this post on Instagram about this woman saying, people make their posts about their partner for anniversaries, what have you, and they always say, "Oh, it's not perfect. We've had our ups and downs, blah blah blah." And she said, "I want to know what the downs are. Why
Yes.
y'all always saying that? And you're never sharing, like, what did you have to go through and how did you get through it?"
Yeah.
Knowing that is also helpful for people. Like just
So
telling us
helpful.
everything is so great. I'm glad it's great, but when it's not great, why wasn't it great? And what did you do to overcome that? Like, we want to
because
know.
that's the tool, right? Like
That's it.
that's the tool, that's the lesson, the how. Like how did you get there? I'm not judging you for what you went through, but are you to the
No.
other side of it, or are you managing it right now and working your way to the other side? And what does that look like? And I
Hmm.
get it, that's a very vulnerable space. And there are boundaries to that, right? You
Hmm.
don't put your whole marriage out for the world to
Yeah.
have an opinion on. But if you and I'm not saying that it has to be on social media either. I'm
Right.
saying in your village, in your
Hmm.
circle of people that shouldn't even be in that circle if you don't trust them,
Yeah.
right? Like how are you sharing those experiences as a way of building community and gaining support even. Sometimes we have to say those things out loud so that people can support us in what we're trying to get through because it takes it takes the village. Hell, like
Hmm. No,
it's
it
like
does. It really, really does.
to hold me accountable to getting to the other side, right? Because some things get so tough, and I am not a married woman, but I can imagine just in as in any relationship, and I know that's very different because it's a
Mhm.
different commitment level, but like getting um to the other side of that sometimes requires the village holding you accountable to doing the right thing
Absolutely.
and not the easy thing or
Absolutely.
not the oh goodness, what is the word I'm looking for? Sometimes we have ways that we carry forward that's just like, now Janelle, don't be in here Janelling on people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes that moment might require me to not Janelle, and somebody has
Hmm.
to hold me accountable to that being a part of myself that I'm actively trying to be better in, you know?
Hmm. Yep.
Um how did you work through maybe some, or maybe the question is, did you have fears um that you carried forward with you that you had to work through in order to be at a place where you could say I do um and leave those bags at the door?
Hmm. I think what helped us both was being able to talk about our past with one another.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people aren't willing to be open or they're not open to receiving that from someone. It's like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to hear about your ex or your past, situations. We were able to talk through those things together. So we both knew where we were coming from and what we had endured. I think that was really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only fear that we both had was that either of us wasn't as into it as the
Mm-hmm.
other. Like, we both have the same fear. Like, is
Yeah.
this really real? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it went so well, it was going so well. It's like you fear that like something may happen or something may, be off.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like, no, but we just had so much trauma from, past
Yeah.
experiences that we're just constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
And I think we had to trust that, each of us was not here to harm,
Yes.
one another.
Yes.
So I think just keeping keeping the conversation open, being really vulnerable about what those fears are, and what we were worried about, I think really helped us.
Did you know that he was going to propose? Like, did you feel like it was in the air? Did you know that it was coming at some point in time? Or were you totally just like, oh my gosh?
Kinda. So we had talked about marriage pretty early. I would say maybe by like 6 months in, we had started talking about like the what ifs, like doing the like dreamy stuff, like, oh,
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
that stuff. So we had talked about it. And then as after we became boyfriend and girlfriend, which sounds super childish, but like he
When
did
you became
actually
official.
official. There we go. That sounds better. When we became official, we talked about it even more. And
Yeah.
I think then I was just like, I knew that it would come. I had a feeling it would come one day. I didn't know when. I kept telling him, like, if you do this, don't you go out spending a whole bunch of money on no ring, because like, don't go crazy. It's not
Yeah.
it's not that serious. Like, something nice. but not crazy. Um, but when it actually happened, no, I had no clue. Like
Mm.
I felt like it was coming, but I didn't know when. He proposed to me on a Tuesday. It was just a
You
regular,
said how random.
yeah, it was just like a regular day. Like, I was supposed to be going out to dinner with some friends. Like, I had
Oh,
no clue. Yeah, no, it totally, I was like, what? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Random
And
on
he
a
was like, I
Tuesday.
I'd had the ring for months. I'm like, you did? There were
Oh.
times we'd be having dinner and I'm like, we talking about the ring, the possibility of a ring
Yeah.
again. And I'm like, don't go, spending a whole bunch of money. Whole time he already didn't spend the money. I didn't even know.
He's like, girl, quiet down. I got this.
Yeah. It's already figured out.
I love that. I love to see. I'm gonna tell you what I have been. I think it really depends on the side of the internet that you're on,
Hmm. Oh
right?
yeah.
Because I have felt so encouraged by feeling like I'm seeing this new wave of um of black love, right? That
Hmm.
that is um that people are loving people out loud again,
Yeah.
that that the proposals, and they don't have to be extravagant,
Hmm.
they don't have to be, right? But that they're
No.
happening,
Hmm.
and not just like, so you trying to get married or not?
I know, right.
I mean, it's
Exactly.
it's been about 10 years. Should we do this
Yeah.
now? You know what I mean? And so I love, even you talking about, we started talking about it at 6 months. I think that that is like also a sign of like self-awareness, because when you know, right?
Yep.
And it's also a space of vulnerability that we're not scared to talk about it. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm a whole Pisces, and the deal is that you're gonna love me, like you are. You're
Yep.
gonna love me. And sometimes
Absolutely.
I have to I have to pace and also say it out loud. And at this age, I'm not afraid to say it out loud. But I think as a younger person, I didn't quite understand it yet. But like, you're gonna love me. You just are, because I'm a loving person and I'm a good person. And I know I'm a good person, right?
Yep.
And so it's gonna happen fast for you, right? And
Yep.
so I think that um that there is like learning how to differentiate between that and like the realness of a person and an
Yeah.
experience. But like like,
Yeah.
so some people might hear 6 months and be like, oh, 6 months, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But like, when like, you know,
Hmm.
you know,
I
and
think too, being older.
yes,
Like, I'm 40 now. I was 38 when we started dating. Like, I knew, more
yeah,
of what I wanted than I would have, like,
yes.
in my 20s. In my 20s, I probably wouldn't have talked about marriage that soon because I would have been
Mm-mm.
afraid. Like, I
No.
would have felt like, oh, there's so much life that I'm not sure I want to be completely locked down just yet. But, like,
Yes.
at almost 40 at the time, it was like, I knew what I wanted. Like, I could see, I knew that I didn't want to be dating around. I knew that I never wanted to have to touch the online dating. I was like,
Child,
"Whoo, please keep me away. I don't want to do that. That sounds terrifying." So,
terrifying.
yeah, I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, so if I
Yes.
don't, find
Yes.
somebody in the physical, I don't know what's
Yes.
gonna happen.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that made the difference.
Yeah. And even age absolutely matters, because even as a young person, I'm like, just even to your comment about like boyfriend, girlfriend, da da da. Like, yeah, as a young person, boyfriend, girlfriend, at this age, I'm older than you though, but
Mhm.
at this age, my age, I'm almost 50. And I'm like,
Mhm. You said, well, let's just get married. Like, we don't even need to do that part.
I'm just like, I'm not. I am all for the period of knowing and coming to a place of
Yes.
surety and clarity with a person. The however is, we're friends until I have a title. like we're friends,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Like I'm
I
not
told
pulling.
him, I was like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to actually ask me the question. I don't have it's not up here on my desk, but I have a little piece of paper. We were out at a restaurant and he got a pen and a piece of paper from the wait
Oh,
staff and wrote on there like elementary school, will you be my
yes.
girlfriend? Yes or no? Because I was like, you need to ask. There is no assuming just because we go on dates or
Hmm.
any of that that I, that we are together. Like
Yeah.
we need to agree that we are both together at the same time.
Yes.
And so he did actually ask me, prior to us getting engaged.
And that's a space of maturity and awareness, right? Because I think there's so much like younger in my I'll keep speaking to my own experience, right? In my younger
Mhm.
years, so many of my relationships happen by default. Like we're
Yes.
spending all this time together. That's my man.
I guess we should be together. I guess we're
Right?
together. Like,
He's staying the night over here. He lives there.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like all the wrong things. Like, right?
Yes.
Like I'm not afraid to say those things because I think it's helpful for other people to hear. Like, yeah, girl,
Mhm.
it's all right. Like you did it. Don't do it again though. Um
Exactly.
and but now I'm like I'm not even I'm like friends until the ring.
Yep.
That's how I am. Friends until the ring because no.
Yeah. And I
And I
think so.
believe in healthy dating, right? Like healthy
Absolutely.
dating because oh my goodness, I was just turned onto this book called Girlfriends Don't Matter, and
Mhm.
I haven't read it yet, but I it just got here and I'm a couple weeks ago and I'm excited to get into it because somebody would hear that and be like, "Oh, well if I'm their girlfriend, I should definitely matter." And I'm like, "But
Mhm.
in the game of dating and oh, I shouldn't say that, not the game in the world
Right.
of dating
Yeah.
and marriage, right? Do girlfriends matter? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to talk about dating for a little bit because I
yeah,
feel like because of what you said, just defaulting into things,
yes.
we didn't learn to date. And I think people think you can only date one person at a time.
Come
I
on.
feel like there's levels to dating.
Come on.
And I don't feel like just because we're dating means that we have to be having sex either.
Come on.
I To me, people don't like to hear this, but to me, dating is like an interview process.
Come
Okay? It
on.
is.
Yeah.
People don't like it, but you're trying to decide, do I want to go further with this person or not?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
going out to eat, we're going bowling, we're doing whatever to determine how does my personality and their lifestyle and my lifestyle work
Yes.
together, and
Yes.
if I like how it's working, then we may continue to go through the different steps. If not, then I may decide that I don't want to date this person anymore. At the same time, I may be doing this with two or three other people.
Absolutely.
I told my husband at the time, I was like, you are not the only person I'm dating. I'm
But that's
dating
the
other people.
difference. That's the difference though. I think that I agree with you that people don't know how to date, nor
Mhm.
are we encouraged. Well, women aren't encouraged to date
Mhm.
multiple people. And I think the part of dating that is important is what you just did, that honesty, that openness.
Honest, you have to tell. Because if you don't, each of those people thinks that they're the only person.
Right.
And I'm not saying you have to be so honest that they need to know who each other is. Like that's
No,
a little weird.
no.
But like just know that like you may see me out, maybe, if we
Yeah.
happen to be in the same spot. Like until you ask for official commitment
Yeah.
and we decide together that we want to do that, I'm going to see who else is out there. I'm
Yes.
not going to date one person at a time until, like, no, this person
Yeah.
came along, and I
Yeah.
think that's okay. And people, especially with women, like to put all these titles on it, she's the this, she's the that. Um, but that's how it's supposed to be. And not
Yeah.
only men get to do that.
Yes. Yes. And yes.
Yeah.
This
So,
is my daughters. I'm like
mhm,
friends. Have a lot of friends because that's also the process. I feel like of where we as women and men when they do it right also, right?
mhm,
Um, um, get to know themselves, right? Because
Yeah.
this may not be a person that I'm like, oh, there's a whole, but there's parts of him that maybe I liked and appreciated that I take and I hold with me because I would like that in the future man, right?
Yep.
Or, and we learn parts of ourselves about the way we want to be treated, about the way that
Yep.
we teach people how to treat us, about the way that we require people to show up in our space, in our presence. That is, I feel like, found in that dating process. There's so much to learn about yourself in that process. But the key to it is that open honesty. It
Yep.
just is. And if you're dealing with egos that can't handle that, again, we're talking red flags.
Yes. And red flags. I wanted to go back to that too because a lot of times we dismiss those
Yeah,
and we take them into, from one situation to another. You're
yeah,
seeing it now two, three times in different people, and you keep brushing it off. Why? Why do you
yeah.
keep putting up with or settling for things that you know you don't want to put up with or settle for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, be done at the first sight
Mm-hmm.
of that thing. And I think we all have our like no brainers, like our things that we're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Um, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was like I could never be with someone who was homophobic. Like
Right.
it's just a no for
Yes.
me. Like
Yes.
nope,
Yes.
don't care. Cause why? And there's some other things that are like that too. But you can't be like, I don't want to be with anyone that's homophobic, but then this person is doing slurs or
Yeah.
turning their nose
Yeah.
up or whatever, and you're just like, but I really like them, so
Yep.
I'll deal with the fact that no,
Yep. Yep.
no,
Yep.
no.
Agreed. Also agreed. Also agreed. And that says something about yourself. And I would also like to say that I think that the important part of deciding against a relationship or moving past a relationship, it
Hmm.
is the reflection part of that relationship, because I think that a lot of times when a person, whether it's a man or a woman, feels like they're a good person and they did good in that relationship, right? They fail to reflect on their part in what didn't work, right? And
Oh,
that doesn't
absolutely.
mean taking ownership of another person's shortcomings. That doesn't mean that you're blaming yourself for somebody else's actions. It is saying, what was my role in staying through it?
Hmm.
And how did I, if this is against who I am, how did I stay through that?
Yep.
Why did I stay through that? And I really important for people to have that time of reflection, um to really process what they want or would like different for themselves, moving forward, you know.
Yep.
um and and I think that is also missed a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Oh, yes.
What's your favorite part? And I know it's all new still, right? But what has been your favorite part so far about being somebody's wife, girl? You said my
Um,
husband earlier, and I was like,
I know. Every time I say it, I'm like, oh
it's all
God.
good.
I think just the partnership,
Yeah,
like just having like that built-in best friend.
yeah,
It's like your friend that you get to have a sleepover with every day.
yeah,
Like coming home at the end of, the work day and getting the kids settled and having dinner and watching a show together or like date nights, just being
yeah,
able to get dressed up and go somewhere. I think just the partnership. Like I
yeah,
have really great girlfriends, lots of, great female to female relationships, and I love that he respects that as well.
yeah,
But having that partnership with someone that you also, that have can do the other things with, it's
yeah,
really nice. It's really
yeah,
nice. Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of men and women feel like, and I hate this for them because I hate it for them. Because even not being married, I know it's not the case, but people feel like when they enter into marriage, they're losing instead of gaining something. They're losing
Oh,
something instead of gaining something in terms of like who they are as an individual. And I am of the mind that like you should come into any relationship as an individual person,
mhm,
and then together there is this space, but it doesn't mean because you are in this space of togetherness that you lose who you are as an individual. um
mhm,
and I think you just talked a little bit about it, but talk a little bit more if you can, just about the space that you have in your marriage to be your whole self, right? Like,
mhm,
I don't have to give up this part of me because there is this space of togetherness with he and I. Like, how have you been able to preserve your individualism,
mhm.
and not feel like that is lost because you're married?
Yeah, I think even while we were dating, he was very supportive of who I was, like things that I like to do, places that I like to go, my friendships. Like he would be pumping me up, like, "Oh, you're going to Black Girl
Yes.
Brunch? Put
Come
that,
on.
put that cute skirt on. Make sure
Yes.
your legs is oiled up." Like
Come on.
that's how he was. It's
Yeah.
like he wasn't worried about, me going out and someone seeing me and,
Yes. Yes.
me being taken from him or anything like that. He's like, "You're fine. I want everybody to know you're fine. Like, go out,
Period.
show out, let me know when you get home.
Yes.
And I think the same for him. He always says, like, for him with guys, like, a lot of his, friends or people that he knows, they felt like they had to like sacrifice parts of themselves when they got a wife.
Mhm.
And they felt like, maybe they were kind of more tied down. And he's like, that's what I love about my wife is that she's not worried about me in that way. Like, he'd be like, "Oh, I want to go see this musician play or whatever." "Okay, bye.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah.
later." You know?
Yeah.
And so we're that same way for each other. Like it's not like, and he says all the time, like, you don't have to feel like you have to do everything with me or that I need to be invited. I know that there's spaces that I won't be welcomed, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm the same for him. Like, I don't need to know your every move. I mean, we are very like open in that way where we do
Yeah.
share like where I'm going, what I'm doing, that kind of thing. Like we're just like that. But
Mhm.
it's not in a way because it's not like we're trying to like manage one another or any or
Yeah.
that's more like just a safety and care, and we're best friends, so we like to share.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, no, we definitely leave that space open for one another. Like he knows, like, I'm gonna read or watch a movie or just be at the house chilling, and he's okay with that. I know that like he may go out to, he's a drummer, so he has gigs that he goes to. He's
Mm.
gonna go to a gig. He may go
Yes.
watch a friend, um, that kind of thing, and that's okay. It's like we both love our alone time, and we
Yes.
also really love our time together, and we know that both are necessary.
Yes.
So yeah.
And that's some of that time learning a person prior to marriage, right? And
Hmm.
and and saying that I say that if you are coming into a relationship with a person and you think that at the point of marriage you're going to require something different of them in terms of
Oh,
like who they are, like you're at a deficit already.
yep,
Because that
yep,
exploration and discovery of a person's foundation and who they are, right, should be done,
yeah.
right? And then you're building and understanding that we as individuals change and evolve daily and based on, what life throws our way, but that's the later stuff, right? The
Mhm,
early stuff, you should be knowing and understanding who a person is. And that's why insecurity isn't cute.
mhm.
If I okay, hold on, let me straighten up for this camera, y'all. Insecurity isn't cute, ladies
No.
and gentlemen. It may make you feel like, oh, he or she just loves me so much. red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Seriously.
That is not because someone wants to be with you every waking moment, because someone wants to take along, someone wants to show up at your ladies brunch. That's not y'all, that's not what you want. I promise you. I promise you that's not what you want. But I see so
Mm-mm.
many people being like thinking that that is like awesome, and I'm like, no, no, no. But
No.
and that's the parts that later in marriage show up as like now you're unhappy, right? Because
Mhm.
now those red flags are serious in the learning of a person. And I also don't want people to invested time when you're dating a person, you don't owe anyone anything in terms of
No.
staying, right? When you I don't care if you've been dating someone for just say a year, right? Just say
Mhm.
a year. If a red flag pops up, sir, ma'am, sir.
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you don't have to feel like because you've had time in with this person that you owe
Mhm.
it to them to stay through that. Like I really there's something to be enjoyed about like the discovery of a partner. Like it's like this study session. It's like you're
Mhm.
learning that person, and that person is learning you. And there's something so I don't exciting isn't the word, but intriguing maybe about just like peeling back the layers of a person. And if as you're peeling back those layers of a person, you're starting to peel back later layers that go against kind of like what you said about if a person shows up in this way with homophobic or
Mhm.
um um sexist or
Yep.
whatever, any of them, right? Is any of the isms.
Especially the isms.
Any of
Yes.
the isms. That you understand that you have the ability to comprehend how that can show up later for you, right?
Mhm.
And that vision about what you want to have in life, what you want to have or share with a person, like don't ignore those things as they're happening because you're enjoying other parts of them. Take that
Yes.
discovery portion. Yes, be intrigued by it. Yes, you can be excited about it. Yes, you can be challenged by it, but um, don't um, don't ignore the purpose of it, right? The purpose of it is if you're doing it with intention, right, is to see if this person is a person that is suitable to continue to build with. And when those things are showing up, you can't just treat it like a hole in the wall and put some stuff over it and cover it up. A hole in a pair of your favorite jeans that you're just like, oh, it'll be fine. No, it's going to continue to
Yeah.
grow and grow and grow.
Yep.
It's going to be there. So don't ignore those things. What for you has what's been the reality check for you? Like in thinking about how sometimes, and maybe you're past that point, because I know that sometimes as we get more seasoned in life, those things are we tend to be less like um we tend to fantasize a little less about the idea of real things. Has there been a moment for you that's been like, okay, I gotta do this different because I was married now.
Mm,
And I know it's still all very new for you, so that could not be a
yeah.
thing yet, right?
I think that thing is like we've been having conversations about like what it looks like to put us first.
Mm, yeah.
Um,
Mm,
when you're not coupled up, you can kind of decide in a different way,
yes.
of who
Yes.
comes first. And I think there's the conversation of like who comes first? Is it the kids or your husband and that kind of thing? I've always, even before I was married, thought that your husband, not your boyfriend or whatever, your
Yes.
husband
Yes.
does come before your kids.
Yep.
And with that, what that means is like, or how I see it is like one day your kids will also be adults and they'll have their own, husbands or wives or what have you. Um, our goal is for us to have a healthy relationship, that they see a healthy relationship so that they too can want something similar or better. But in order
Yes.
for us to parent them and support them and guide them on their journey, we need to be in a healthy alignment together.
Yes. Yes.
And so when they say put y'all first, I think that's what that means to me.
Yeah.
Because it just trickles down. When
Yeah.
you're, not in the best situation or what have you, that's going to trickle down to your kids if you have them.
Yes. Yes.
And I really wanted my daughters to see a healthy, loving relationship. I didn't grow up seeing that.
Yeah.
So I had to create that on my own. I had to decide what that looked like for me. And they'll do the same, even with, seeing my relationship. But I
Yeah.
wanted them to see that firsthand. That was really important to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Um, does does he have did he have children prior to marriage
yeah,
also?
he has
And
a
so
son.
you
Hmm.
guys have a blended family. How
Yep.
has
Yeah.
that's been a whole new world, right?
Yes, yes. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Again, it's new, but I think, getting the kids together while we were in the dating phase
Yes.
really helped us. I remember us both saying like, if my kids don't like you or your kid don't like me, this might not work because like our kids are really important to us and we don't want to
Yeah.
put them in a situation where they feel like burdened by our
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
Because think about it, when ever have adults thought about the kids when they decide to date a person?
Yes.
Very rarely.
Yes.
But we knew that this was had the potential to be something long term, and so we wanted to ensure that the kids, like your kid likes me, my kids like you, they like each
Yeah.
other, like,
Yeah.
we didn't want our relationship to be a place of like trauma or something like that for them. So, I think that was really, helpful, to see how we all got along together. And, we would have times where we would, do stuff at the house or we take all the kids out together or things like that. And so, that was just another like stamp of approval of like, okay, what we have here is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. I love that. I love that. Um, mhm. My little heart's just smiling for you, Nyla. It
Thank
just
you.
is. I because I love to see it so much, um and I hate that there's even this segment of society that is just downing this experience. And I am one of those people who feels like it's intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You have strong black families, that's a whole nother level of power. And
Hmm.
and and so it just it's making me happy to see to see it more present, and to have this opportunity to just talk with you about it, because I think it's also so important for people to hear. um we're coming into like the holiday season. We're in the holiday seasons.
Hmm.
But even outside of it, have you guys gotten to a space where you're like, this is the new tradition that I want us to have as a family? Or is it just still, and I again, I know it's still so new, right?
Hmm.
But is it just still so new that you haven't gotten there yet and you guys are just like coasting and figuring it out? Or are there things that are on the table that are like, no, we as a family have to do this?
Yeah, I think we're still deciding. For Thanksgiving, this is the first time that we're gonna host.
Mm,
So that's new. I've never hosted Thanksgiving.
yeah.
I've always hosted a Christmas brunch with my family, and so we'll still host that. He's never hosted anything or had a hand in any of the things. Usually just, going
Attends.
to, yeah, usually just attending. But I love that, like, we've hosted a few different things this year, and he's so supportive of that, and he
Mm,
loves it. He loves hosting, loves, being around to help, our guests with whatever they need. And so I've loved doing that with him. I love a good matching pajama moment. That's
come
just something
on.
that I've done with my kids, since forever. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely continue that. But yeah,
And then
it's
more
fun
to come,
figuring it
right?
out. Yeah. He wants a real tree. I like my little fake tree. He's like, I want a real one. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's
Yeah.
cool, so
I'm the fake tree also.
yeah.
So I have my sister dying every year because I have this thing where like I don't even I'm an empty nester, right? So I don't even
Mhm.
have to decorate this tree anymore because I put the decorations on the tree, and people might say that defeats the purpose. The
Mhm.
decorations are on the tree, Nyla, and then I got this big old tree bag and I slide this tree
The
decorated,
whole tree.
the
That is
whole
good.
tree into the bag, honey. Carry the bag down to the garage until the
Yes.
next year,
And
right?
pull
There
it
used to
right
be
back out
Oh, Mary Jackson, she used to tear me up on
on
social
the tree.
media, but yes, about this dang tree because, honey, the thing is that if I gotta take these ornaments off, if I gotta decorate this bad boy every year, honey,
Hmm.
it might be up till February.
Man, that's me. Pulling it out, gotta put it together. I'm
See,
like, and the kids
see,
don't want to help. They do not
right?
care.
They like putting them on, but
Yeah.
then the taking it off. Oh, that's. I'm at this place in life where it's about convenience,
Hmm.
right? And so, that process for me right now is convenience. I put that decorated tree
Yep.
in that tree bag and pull that decorated tree back out the next year. And guess what?
Yes.
It works.
Yep. Yep.
I'm here for a faux tree.
Yes. I love it. I love it. But I'm like, if you want a real tree, I don't care.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
knew that I wasn't managing a real tree. Like, you got
yeah.
to get rid of them, and it's too bad.
Yes, yes, yes. That could be his thing. I love it.
I'm like, go
That
ahead. I'll decorate it. You gonna have to go get it and all that. Yeah.
yes, I love it. Well, because I see I'm getting too deep in in gab and talking your ears off here.
You're fine.
Try to reel it in just a little bit. But what do you feel as though you've learned about yourself? What is the timeline of maybe like 2 years here, year and a half,
Mhm.
2 years?
Mhm.
Over these maybe past 2 years, what do you feel like you have learned or discovered essentially about Nyla?
I've discovered how important it is, like how important relationships are to me, all relationships.
Yes.
And I've discovered how I really appreciate like harmony in
Mm,
relationships. Like I really
mhm.
appreciate I don't like when there's like tension or,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
things like that happening. Um, I also appreciate everyone knowing like their position, like
Yeah.
my husband not being offended by my friendships, being really
Yeah.
supportive of that, knowing that that's
Yeah.
necessary for me to thrive. And my girlfriends understanding like, she has a husband.
Yeah.
Um, but also knowing that like I'm not like it's not like, oh, like we were talking about earlier, it's not like I'm being put in this box now because I'm
Yeah.
married.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm still, available and there for them.
Yeah.
Um, and just managing that, managing the relationship with my kids, my family. Um, but I think, just being able to be like true to myself. I feel like for the first time ever, I am just completely me. Like I
Mm.
don't feel like there's parts of me that are, shut off or shut down.
Yes.
Um, I am just constantly learning. Um, I feel like, my kids have said I'm doing really well with motherhood.
Yeah.
I'm learning every day. I told my oldest, I was like, you just turned 13. I'm like, I just want you to know I've never known what I'm doing. I'm
Wow.
literally figuring it out as I go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for teaching me because
Come on. Because our kids are our greatest teachers.
oh, I absolutely,
Child. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, she I love that she like we've created a space where she can vocalize her feelings
Yes.
and just be her goofy, childish 13-year-old self. Like
Yes.
she's not, in a position where she has to feel like, she has to be more grown up or any of
Yeah.
that stuff. Like she is my greatest
Mm.
success story.
Come
Like
on. Mm.
and my youngest coming up right after her, but
Yes.
yeah, I just love that she's able to completely be herself and she can come to me and be like, I didn't like how you said that to me. And I'm like, you
Yes.
know what? You're right. I shouldn't have said that.
Right? Oh, girl, you about to get me into a whole other, I won't do it. But yes. Yes, because we're mm, being able to move into a space of parenting that is not that of which we came up in.
Exactly.
Right?
It's so different. And it's like you still have the older generation around who like is looking
Yes.
like, why you let her do that? It's
Yep.
like, because I'm not teaching her the way that y'all taught me. Like it's different over here.
That part.
And don't be
That
messing
part.
with my baby. Like, I got
Right.
it.
The dynamics of having a new person in your home and in your life, like we want to feel like it's going to be great. I love them, they'll love them. That's
Yeah.
very different when you're blending families, because you have to create the ground for it to be okay,
Mhm.
right? Like, and I say that about a plethora of things. Like, it can be okay. It can be okay for you to feel conflicted about loving this other person. It can two things can be true at once. You can love your bio parent, and you can love this new one also. There's
Mhm.
room and space for all of those things. That's okay, right? It's okay if you have feelings about, like, but you're not my real parent, right?
Mhm.
Like, we have to work through those things, yes, but it's okay. Now let's work through them, right? How
Yeah.
has that been for you to approach, or you both to
Mhm.
approach in this new marriage where you're getting your footing for yourself, but also trying to create this beautiful protected space for your kids to also get their footing.
Yeah. We've been lucky enough that neither of our kids have said those words. Like, that's not my mom, that's not my dad. Like I
Yeah.
think both, the kids respect us as
Yes.
adults and as parent figures. Um, I think, we come together to make decisions for them or to give
Yes.
insight on
Yes.
what's going on, to
Yes.
solve issues together. He's able to give direction to the girls and they will do what he says. I'm able to give, direction to our son, and he'll do it. And
Yes.
neither of them, I've never seen them mouth off at the others of us. And we're like, we just are lucky in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
But we've also had conversation with one another of like, how far is too far? How much is too
Yeah.
much? Am I
Yeah.
backing you up, or can I also discipline or say this thing on my own without
Yes.
needing you to be in the space?
Yes.
Um, and we have really good kids, so it's very rare that they need that, but just supporting one another and deciding on what that looks like, and also feeling like you're kind of trying to drop your defenses of like, that's my child,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my kid,
Yeah.
um and that is something that I think internally you just work on of like, no, we're all a family together now. We are
Yes.
also parenting this kid, and then also bringing in their other bio parent. Like,
Yes. Come on.
we're having that relationship with their bio parent, and then also having that relationship, so it's like we got all
Hmm.
these different it's
Yes.
going multiple ways. But trying to, all get on the same page, I think is really important to us. And the kids really make it easy. They
Mm,
have not been like, distancing themselves from what's
yes,
happening. They really, really like him. And so that was helpful.
yes.
Um, yeah.
Oh goodness, I could pick your brain for hours, Nyla, because I'm a conversationalist, and there's
I
just
know, and I
so
love
much.
talking to.
There's so much good stuff to peel back here. What I'm gonna make this. Oh no, no, no. I have two more questions.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna wrap it up. I promise. Um, what um I don't want to call it advice. I want to say words of encouragement. Um, could you give or would you give to um, a person who is um, who desires um, marriage for themselves at this place in their life? What encouragement or guidance can you share with them at this space in their life?
I would say number one, work on yourself.
Hmm.
Make sure that you are your best
Yeah.
self so that when a person comes, you're ready for them
Hmm.
and you're not, you know, still dealing with past issues that you push them away.
Yeah.
Um, I would say two, getting clear on what you desire from a partner outside of their physical. Um, be reminded that there are things that can be changed about people, but knowing, and I think this was very apparent for my husband, is knowing that I was taking him exactly as he was today, with
Hmm.
no desire for him to change. Like it wasn't like I'm taking him and I really hope
Yeah.
that he eventually, whatever. Like, no, I love him just as he is today. If
Yes.
he becomes better in the future, that's just better for the both of us.
Yes.
But as he is today is perfect for me. And
Mm-hmm.
so, not going into a situation wanting someone to change. If you don't like exactly who they are when you meet them, that person is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think lastly, learning to date and being okay with it. People always, I hear so many people say, I hate dating. I'm like, what y'all hate? I loved it. It's fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like to get to know people. I like to go and, try new things and things like that. So just enjoy it and not try to make something that it's not
Yeah. Yeah.
just because you want the partnership. Like, I
Yeah.
got to make this square fit into this circle. No, you don't.
I just gave that analogy the other day. Yes, you don't.
No, no,
And
you
please
don't.
don't.
They may just be a friend or they may just be an experience. And
Yeah.
you can take that into your
Yes.
next situation, but don't try to make something that it is not.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I think those are my top three. Yeah.
That's, I've got a long list, but those are the top
I
three.
mean, I could go on and on and on, but
I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, how has your village um poured into you at this time over these last like 2 years at this time as you're experiencing this person as you are as it becomes more evident that Rich is becoming your person, right? They see the trajectory on their own. Like, how have they poured into you? Because I imagine that when you have a solid village, they pour into you regularly about many of things, right? But when they see this space coming, I mean, this coming up in your life, I imagine there is a different intentionality on their part also. How, um what was different maybe about the way that they poured into you at that time?
They were super supportive. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone was like always checking in, trying to make sure, are you still feeling him? How's things going? Um, I think I think one big difference, and this has never happened before, so that's why I want to share this, is early on, I would say within the first 6 months of us dating, um, my friend who um probably I don't know when she would have met him outside of this happening, was like, I want to know him. Like she was like, I wonder if he'll go to lunch with me. I want to
Mm,
share how I see you and I want to like be able to get a feel for him or whatever. And
yes.
I was like, I think he would agree to that.
Yeah.
And I shared with him and they found a date and time and they went out to lunch together and they were out for like 3 hours. And I'm texting them both like, are y'all good? Y'all still there? And they're like, we're still
Right.
here. Stop texting us. And I'm like, well, what's happening? What's the topics? Like,
They're
tell me
like, mind your
something.
business.
They're like, don't worry about it. Um, and
Oh,
they really connected and
yes.
they he would at that time was like, I'm gonna marry her. And she was like, what? Like you just met her.
Mm,
How you gonna go marry her? And he was, and everyone that he would meet, my cousins, he would be like, yeah, I'm gonna marry her. And this is
period.
like early on. This is like before we are even in a committed relationship. And they're like, oh wow, he really likes you. And I'm like, I like him too. But he was telling everybody, like, that's gonna be my wife.
Period. Yep.
And they were like, okay, well, let's get her to that point. Let's get to that
Yes.
point. And so I think they were just really supportive. Like they, um, yeah, they liked, what they were seeing and they wanted to help me. If this was what I wanted, they wanted to help support me get to that place. And they
Yeah.
did. And even now, in our new marriage, they still will call, how's the marriage going? How,
Yes.
has anything changed? Everything good? I'm like, it's great.
Yes.
So yeah, just super supportive. I think, I have a couple of friends that are also married. And so they've, shared some of their experiences and things like that. But I feel like everyone is kind of, they'll give advice or give insight, but they're kind of like letting us learn on our own. And so I
Yeah.
really appreciate that too.
Last thing, and you may not, it may take you a second to give an answer for it, it may not. But
Okay.
because I'm a music head, if you had a song that could be the soundtrack on the soundtrack of the season that you're in right now, what would it be?
Oh my
Take a
goodness.
second. Take a second.
I don't know why, but the first song that comes to mind is Megan Thee Stallion's Lover Girl.
Come on, my man, my man. Yeah.
Yes. And maybe because I was just listening to it last night, I don't know. But I feel her on all that.
Yeah.
I feel her. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that you say her. Because I think she is someone whose experience that we've been able to witness. We don't
Hmm.
know her personally, right? But
Yeah.
I think her experience is not uncommon for young Black girls, and even in the way that she's being demonized about things
Hmm.
that aren't other people's business. So to see her coming into this space where she's feeling um it seems as though what we see
Hmm.
is her
Yeah.
feeling like I could be soft, I could be feminine, I can, I can, it's almost like I can rest, right?
Yes.
I can
Yes.
rest. Like I can feel
That level
celebrated.
of
I can
peace.
feel protected. I can be at peace. I can feel covered because I can imagine how she hasn't for so long. You've lost
Hmm.
your parents and like
Yep.
you feel out here, And so I love this for her. So I love that you picked that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Because it came to mind probably because if you were just listening to it and you probably were feeling it in a different way, like,
Yep.
yes, Meg, I feel you, girl.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for sharing all of these things. I know that we have listenership from all over the place. many different, our age range is crazy for who tunes into here. And it's I wish I could say it was just this portion of people, but it's not. It's this interesting range of ages that tune in. And so whether you're someone who is at a space in your life where you're learning to date, if you're someone who is at a space in life where you are trying to focus on the intentionality of welcoming a partner into your life, whether you are someone who is focused on learning yourself and loving yourself and liking yourself, then I hope some of these things discussed today felt inspiring and encouraging, and are bringing you to a space of feeling in community with people because you're not alone in your experience. So, Nyla, thank you so much for joining us and discussing
Thank
these
you.
things with us today. Y'all, I want to just drop one more reminder: support small businesses. Please check out Mama D's LLC and look at some of the things that she's offering this season. Please look in your communities and think to support business locally. Black women, Black men, let's make sure that we are getting out in our communities and supporting the businesses that are trying to support us. Um, I hope everyone is well, and we look to carry on these conversations again. Thanks, y'all.